What's going on, Rough Cutters? It's nice to be back. I'm sorry I wasn't here last week. I had a family emergency to tend to, but it's all worked out, and I am back. Now, since The Wisest Wizards pretty much started off Halloween horror movie review month, I guess you would say, of course I'm going to join in. I mean, that's what I do. Today I'm going to review for you guys, and this probably isn't the most original choice, but I'm reviewing it anyway, Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one. Which of course stars the amazing Robert Englund. Now, before seeing the most recent remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street, which wasn't really the biggest fan of, I prepared myself by watching the first and original Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I absolutely loved it. I think it's an amazing horror movie. Now, if you are completely unaware of what A Nightmare on Elm Street is about, which is pretty damn unlikely, but hey, I'm gonna oblige. It basically follows all these teenagers, and they get terrorized in their dreams by a burned, scarred man with claws for fingers named Freddy Krueger. Krueger kills them in their dreams, and once he does that, they are kaput, they are finished, they are just done in real life. So not only do the teenagers need to fight off Freddy, they need to fight off sleep as well, because if they sleep, they're fucked. Insomnia is the name of the game, and these teenagers aren't very good at it. Now, of course, Robert Englund is just amazing in this movie. He is perfectly cast for this role, and you could just see, oh my god, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, wait for it. It's gone. What the? I hate those, don't you? Anyway, I just love seeing how much fun he's having with the character, how much fun, he's having being in the movie. I love when you can see that on an actor's face. But he's not only just a menacing villain, he's a pretty funny one, too. He cracks a few good jokes. Now, as for the movie itself, it is just a very, very effective horror movie. The reason I love Wes Craven is that he can take a low budget and do so much with it. I.e., for example, this, Red Eye, which almost no one saw, which was awesome. I mean, there are so many classic scenes in this movie. Wait a minute, I got the sneeze, here it comes. Thank you for saying God bless you. I'm assuming you did because you're a kind person. There's Freddy elongating his arms. There's the infamous bedroom scene where a victim literally is just thrown up into the ceiling and blood splurts everywhere. You have Freddy bending a wall to peer over the main protagonist of the movie. And so many other great scenes. Scenes like these that just remind me of what the horror genre could have been but isn't today. Let's face it, 99.9% of horror movies these days are horrible. I mean, there are a few exceptions here and there, but for the most part, they're a rarity. To go back and watch a movie like this is just really, really refreshing. Now, the movie does have some problems, though. It does not come without its faults. The main problem I had with it was the acting. I know this was the 80s and acting wasn't exactly top-notch back then, but they could have tried a little harder. I mean, all the teenage characters are played pretty poorly, and they're just so over the top, so cheesy, and I could barely connect with them or root for them. I pretty much wanted every character to die by Freddy's hand, so, didn't really care for them too much. Also, the storytelling was a little bit too predictable for my taste. I mean, here and there I could definitely see what was coming. I could definitely see who was gonna get killed next, and I don't know, it just ruined the fun for me sometimes. But this movie delivers tons of thrills. There were a couple times where I was just scared shitless, and for a movie that was made back in the 80s to not just scare me once but numerous times is so impressive. I've watched countless horror movies that have been made recently, and I never get scared by them because they're so predictable in the way they try to scare you. The scares in this movie are so unpredictable and so just creepy. So if I were to give A Nightmare on Elm Street a grade out of 10, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. Just a fantastic horror movie. Easily one of the best. So if you haven't seen it already, please go out and check it out. It's October. Definitely the perfect time to watch a movie like that. And if you already have seen it, watch it again. Probably be even better this time around. So that's my review for the Rough Cuts this week. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next Wednesday for another movie review. And until then, like always, have an awesome week.